fam. We are going live right now with Shawnee Myers, Chef Myers, the OG. Check it out. Stay tuned. Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Check us out. We'll be live up there. Stay tuned.
Yeah, here come, bro. So I'm back, man. Sorry.
All good, all good. All right, well, everything is recording. We can go ahead and start this beautiful podcast. All right, well, everybody, welcome to Late Night with Chefs. We have a very, very heavy hitter, a Chicago OG. I respect this man to the moon and back, and I can't praise him enough for all the beautiful skills he's instilled in me. We're going to introduce Shawnee Myers to Late Night and Chefs. Shawnee, say hi to everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everybody going? So I'm happy to be here, Vlad. You always been my guy. You always been just eager to learn everything. So I've been seeing you doing your thing. So I was like, let me share myself with my buddy Vlad, man.
Yeah, I actually, so this would be an awesome time to kind of, I'd love to hear your background story, how you got into this, and and then later we can get about this really shitty COVID situation that we're all in the industry right now. But yeah, Shawnee, if you could tell us about, how did you start on this culinary journey? Because I think you have a very incredible story to be shared.
Okay, I think well, basically I started cooking at I think I was about 13 years old. You know, my mom, I had an older brother that had he actually just had got murdered on Chicago on 39th and Brown. And I don't know, maybe you don't know what it is. It used to be the projects. They tore them all down now, but he was there, and my brother was like gang banging and doing all type of bad shit. And he actually one day he got robbed, and he got murdered. Long story short, he did. So, after that happened, my mother was like, just on me, like, just making sure that the same thing that happened to me. So me and her was together one day, and we went to go get a slice of pizza from a store, a little restaurant on the corner on 71st and Crandon, right? We walked in, and when I walked in the store, the lady had 4 cooks, and they all quit at one time. I guess the lady was, treating the guys wrong or whatever happened. All the guys, they quit at one time, and she was like in a big panic, and she asked me, hey, young man, do you want a job? And before I could say anything, my mother was like, yeah, he want a job. He want a job. So I started working there. I was like 13 years old. I started, it was just me and the lady. We was the only cooks there. And the business started getting better. I was working a lot. I was like, I would leave school, and then I would work there all day. You know what I mean? Like, I fell in love with it. You know what I mean? So I learned how to basically run a restaurant when I was probably I worked there from 13 to when I got to about 16, I basically knew how to run the whole restaurant by myself. And the lady who owned the restaurant and her husband, they used to they would fight with each other all the time, and they were like every Friday and Saturday they would both go to jail because they would fight in the store, and they would just leave me there to run the whole restaurant by myself. You know, I would they would leave me with their children. I took care of the kids and I ran the restaurant.
That's
So I
awesome.
stayed with them till I was about 19 years old, and I was graduating. I was graduating school. I mean, high school, and I was getting ready to go to college in North Dakota. And when I left, you know, the guy told me, you know, Sean, you've been good to me. If you ever need something, you know, just let me know. So I said, okay, thank you. So I went off to college, and I stayed there and I played and I had so much fun. I just fucked off a bunch of time, you know what I mean? So when I came back, he's like, why don't you go to culinary school? So I said, I never thought about it. So okay, I'll try it. I'll see. And you know, he paid the money for me to go. So
Wow.
I went, and I started getting in competitions, and I was like getting straight A's. It's the only thing in my life that I was like good at. You know, I liked it. You know what I mean? It liked me, and I liked it. You know what I mean? So he paid for me to go, and you know, I was working back and forth there, and then you know one day I met Chef Kerry here in Chicago. He got a couple restaurants here in Chicago. I think he got the mac and cheese truck, and he got a couple business. And he was telling me that, you know, hey Sean, I'm working at Charlie Trotter's, and I'm gonna be quitting. I'm gonna be quitting in like a month. So you know, we was graduating in a month too. He was like, if you know, when you graduate, you know, you could take my job. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let them know about you. Just come on down. You know what I mean? So I was like, I didn't even know who Charlie Trotters was. So I was like, okay. So I went there, and I was like, I walked in the back door, and everybody, you know, they're a young black guy, and Charlie Trotters at that time it's been few black chefs at Trotters that I can count on one hand. You know what I mean? Chef Reggie, Chef Reggie was like his first employee, and like we instantly hit it off because he was an old guy. And he was happy like to see a young black guy come there. You know what I mean? So he never really saw that. You know, it was only black guys that came there was dishwashers and things like that. So I washed dishes, and I was watching the grill guy every day. So I was like, until I learned how to do his job. I knew how to do his job every day, but I was washing dishes, but I didn't have a chance to get on the grill. So you know, Chef Trotter, he liked me a lot. He said, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance to do the job. You know, it's gonna be you, it's gonna be one guy from France and another guy from England, I believe it was. You know, the guy from France, he had a fucking chef jacket with gold buttons and shit on it. I was like, there's no way I could beat him. But I've been watching this guy make quail. No, he was cooking squab every day. So I didn't even know what a squab was, but I knew how to cook it because I watched him do it every day. So you know, the guy came, and he let us go. It's time, you know, it was showtime. So the guy from England, he went up, he overcooked. The chef got him, threw him out. And then the guy from France that was supposed to be the hot shit guy, he went and started overcook. You know, Chef Charter didn't play that. You know what I mean? So I was like, I was ready to go. So he's like, okay, Sean, show him how to do it. So I went and I did it, and he told me, you done with dishes. You gonna start working the line. So I was like, okay, man. I was happy. You know, I was happy, and then ever since then, you know, I worked there. I worked every station, and then he told me, can you go to Chef, you know, Trotters to go, and you know, give you an opportunity to be the chef of the store. So I was like, man, that blew my mind. So I had worked under Chef Diane, Chef Guillermo, Chef Bill Kim, Giuseppe Tintori. Like Giuseppe always been my guy, you know what I mean? So that's that's um that's where it started. I started at Trotters with him. Me and Giuseppe, we worked for a lot of years for Chef Trotter. And when he was leaving to going to open up his own restaurant, I said that I was gonna go with him. You know what I mean? So I went with him, and he opened up his first restaurant at Boca Restaurant. This is the old pirate days of restaurants. The restaurant's not like it is now. You know what I mean? We walked in. We walked into Giuseppe's Boca restaurant, and the guys who was working there, they didn't even know that was their last day. That all of them was gonna get fired, and he was coming in with a whole new crew. So it was like it was almost a mutiny that day. Everybody was they was wanting to fight us, you know what I mean? But that's how it was back in the days of the kitchen, and man, and I just started learning every day. You know what I mean? I just started applying myself, and just wanna learn everything that I can learn about this, and that's how I started, man. That's how I started, man. It's like
I mean,
that's where I got my started, man.
that's what I'm saying. You have been in the culinary scene since it's all really began in Chicago, and that's so inspiring. And just to hear that, I had a very similar, into the industry. I started as a dishwasher, and I was watching the salad people making, and I'm like, man, that looks so much more fun than
Yeah, then
washing
watch this.
dishes.
Yes.
And then all you can do when you're washing dishes is think, right? And you just, dream and create stuff in your head and observe. And I think that's what makes the best chefs is the observers, right?
Yes, yes, and being excited about it, and it's like it gotta excite you. You know what I mean? That's what I always saw in you. Whenever you came to work, you was always excited about whatever. Doing the worst job in the restaurant, you was excited to do it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to scale fish. I remember that you told you told Chef Giuseppe that you can beat him in scaling a fish. You know what I mean? It's like you like I saw it on YouTube. Right? I can beat you at it. It's like it was funny. It's a lot more to YouTube than scaling the fish, but he was still young, and I thought that
Yeah, I learned that lesson the hard way.
yeah, you did. But but
But
but that's what it's about, man. It's like it's you wanted to be better and you wanted to do better. You know what I'm saying? And from that point, whether you know it or not, Giuseppe respected you a lot. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people wouldn't even they would never say that to him. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he respect, even though that you couldn't beat him in it, but he respected you that you wanted to be able to beat him. So one day you will be able to beat him. You know what I mean? And that's all it's about, man. It's about just trying to get better, man. And cooking is like it's one of the greatest career that you can ever. It's one of the hardest and one of the greatest and careers that anyone can have. I met people from all over the world, and it's an equalizer amongst people. No matter you rich, whether you poor, you still got your job to do, and your money not gonna save you. You know what I mean? Not the real boys. Your money not gonna help you learn how to cook a piece of meat the proper way, how to cook a piece of fish the proper way. It don't matter where you from. That's not gonna help you. You know what I mean? All that's gonna help you is your work ethic. That's the only thing that's gonna help you. So that's why I always love cooking and respected it. And people that can do it, they got my respect, bro. They got my respect.
100%. And you definitely have the finesse, and you make it look so beautiful. I remember every time I would be coming in, you'd be right there, on the edge of that prep table doing your thing with your birchwood handle miyabi, and I was just you always kept it real. You never I remember you saying to me, Vlad, learn everything you can, get the fuck out of here, and start your own shit.
That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about, man. That's what I do now. I got the smallest business, and every day, you know what I mean. Every day I try to do it a little bit better, a little bit better. I got clients that buy stuff from me almost every day, but I try to give them something different and something better every day. And I don't care if it's like it can be fucking chicken legs, you know what I mean? It's like, but to when they get something from somebody that actually know what they're doing, they know and they understand that, oh, this is quality. You know what I mean? No matter what it is, you don't have the most. I know you a truffle boy, but having the most expensive things, it's about taking the simplest thing and building and making it nice. You know what I mean? Because anybody can do something nice with something that's already nice. You know what I mean?
A hundred
So
percent, 100%. I agree with that. it's harder to make a soup than shave some truffles on a butter pasta for sure.
Yes,
And
yes.
to keep everything balanced.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a part of it too, man. You still learning. You know what I'm saying? You still learning. It's like discovering who you are as a cook. It take years, man. It take years, man. I've been cooking for almost 30 years now, man. And I'm still learning every day, man. I'm still learning, and I watch people like you. You got a whole, I respect you because you got a talent. You know what I mean? That's your own. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be fine. You know what I mean? So it's just like just learning and being humble. That's all you got to do is be humble and learn and listen. You'll be fine, man. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah, and what year would you say your Charlie Trotter kind of what years were you in Charlie Trotter? What years were you in Boca? What did you do after Boca? I'm very interested to
Oh,
know.
I was in Charlie Trotters, and I graduated culinary school in 2002, and I stayed there to maybe about 2006. I went to the Peninsula Hotel for about a month, and I was like, I gotta get the fuck out.
Every what is with all the OGs? What's with OGs in
Oh,
the
because
Chicago
they had
industry? That Peninsula Hotel. Every time we talk about the Chicago history, about how why Michelin even came to Chicago, why is Chicago such a big foodie city? What was it about the Peninsula Hotel that drove you to go there and
um
explore that?
they had Chef Elliott, Graham Bowles. They had him there, and he was in the lobby. When I tell you, like, we had already worked together at Charlie Trotter's, but when I tell you that that dude was like immensely talented. Like, he was very talented. Like, I just like, I was working in the lobby and he was working the avenues. I just wanted to be there so I can watch, like, his style. His style was like, he was very creative. You know what I mean? He was like one of those chefs that took the small things and made them like amazing. You know what I mean? So that was like a skill I wanted to learn. But when I got to the lobby hotel, if I would have stayed there longer, but I was working in the lobby kitchen, and I had the old school chefs where they had a one chef that just get drunk all day and like dump all his work on you, and I had ran into Chef Trotter again that he had came to the peninsula for a high tea. They had one of the best teas there. They had one of the best teas in the city at that time. On Sunday and everything, and we ran them to together. We ran into each other, and he was like, Sean, what you doing here? It's like, you know what, man? I'm gonna give you some more money. Just come on back. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's like, okay. So I left like that same day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? I just went and I started working with him. I worked for, I think, a couple more years. Like, fucking about it total took maybe about 11 years, and when I worked there to probably it was probably about 2010, 2011, something like that. And Giuseppe was like, he was opening up his own restaurant at Boca restaurant, and he told me, I'll be his first sous chef there. That, him owning his own restaurant, well, like basically being a chef of his own restaurant, I would be his first sous chef, like the first one that he ever had. You know what I mean? It So I was like, okay, I did it. You know what I'm saying? And I, like, me and him, like, we've been through the battle times where sometimes where he was just so used to having things done the way that he wanted to be done, that he taught me that you can't, as a chef, you can't be afraid to do things yourself. If you're afraid to do it yourself, you're gonna be fucked. You know what I'm saying? It's like he instilled that into me. Some nights he fired the whole line, everybody on the line, and it was just me and him. Like, he did that on Saturdays, like, and it was just me and him doing the whole restaurant by ourselves. You know what I mean? And I would like after we did that a couple times, I was like, hey man, like you can't do this shit. You know, you can't do this. You can't do this every Saturday. You fucking killing me with this. You know what I'm saying? So he sort of calmed down, but he was still like he was not easy. He was not easy to work with. You know what I mean? The people he I mean like this dude made people from like the Israeli army like take a shit on they like they used to be in the Israeli army and they like he made them fucking take a shit on themselves like
Wow.
that's how vicious he was like vicious back then.
And my generation thinks we got it hard, you know,
Oh,
and we complain about just the. I love it when a chef gets angry though, but I just love that little thing. And I know it's wrong at times and stuff like that, but I'm just I came up from a household and
it was not even the HR lad.
yeah, there
It
was
was
no
no,
HR, right?
no HR.
Yeah, you can do
So he
whatever
was
you
like,
want.
"Oh, look at your cat. He's back there chilling, checking out the podcast."
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going
man.
crazy.
And after we worked at Boca, and I was like, I think where did I go after that? I went to become the chef at Wolfgang Puck. I left there and I just got into catering at Wolfgang Puck, and man, that was really good, man. I mean, I gotta first say that I got the most honor and respect for Chef Trotter
So
because
tell me about this. How did Grant Atkins and were you there when he staged and worked there for 2 weeks?
who?
Grant Atkins,
Oh
Grant
yeah,
Atkins.
yeah, yeah.
What happened there? I mean, everybody
Uh,
keeps it to such a minimal, and since I have you, and I'd
I
love to
think
get the dirty deets.
I think that Chef Trotter was the type of person that he really he really respected people that didn't have a lot. You know what I mean? Like people, I'm not gonna say people that's poor. He just respected people that didn't have a lot. You know what I mean? He respected they work ethic. They didn't work as though that they feel like he owed them anything. So that leads me to saying that with Grant Atkins, I can't really say exactly with sure, but the way from knowing him the way that I know him, Chef Trotter, that if you was a rich kid, he was like super terrible to you. Like he gonna fucking give you a super hard time. You know what I mean? Be like because even though he came from a background where he had money, he always worked for his money. He always was in the trenches. Like he always worked like a person who didn't have. So when you was like a rich kid and you came by acting like you was the shit and you deserve respect because you got money.
He
Nope.
didn't have none of that.
None of that. None of that.
And I got to tour. Dylan Trotter gave me a tour of Charlie Trotter's, and from that point, like coming in, first of all, I was like very surprised at the location of it, and then I was very surprised how it looked like a house. One side was a restaurant, one side was that. But then when I walked in, I was completely blown away by all those little corridors, the wine cellars, the different dining rooms, the different ambiance, like how the top
The
balcony would
studio
overview.
kitchen.
Yeah, the studio kitchen, the office. I mean, that was literally. It just showed me how he created such a work-life balance. Right? There was not really a work-life balance. It was just his life is in that building. He literally
That's
gave
true. That's
everything
true.
to that. And talking about Reggie, there was a bunch of Reggie bubbleheads, around too, and
Yeah,
all his
that's one of my.
books.
I miss him, man. That's one of my guys. Like I was just talking to his daughter like day before yesterday. You know what I mean? Like when he was down in New Orleans, me and him we talked almost every day. You know what I mean? It's like because he went to New Orleans and like the food scene, they really didn't know who Reggie was, so they was like they actually like treated him like, to be honest, they treated him like shit there. To be honest about it, it's like he was very immensely talented, and the people in New Orleans were fucking racist. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. They was fucking racist, and then the fact that he was smart and he knew what he was doing, it pissed a lot of people off down there. You know what I mean? It's like they made him like a saucier, like for like 18 $16 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Reggie was here in Chicago making $95,000 a year, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
And
that's
it's like,
fucked up, and you know, I can't even like put a point to that. But I was in New Orleans, and their food scene is very. I didn't like it, honestly. To be honest, like I had a good crab boil and this and that, but it's very greasy, very heavy, and I think, given the Charlie Trotter refined palate perspective to it, I think they were just he was too ahead of his time to go maybe to a
yeah,
city
I
like
think
that.
that he was way ahead of his time there, especially there. You know what I mean? He was like, and he was like a person that spoke his mind, and then he would just tell me like the place where he was at. He was in like 19 fucking 60 back there. You know, like nobody. If he would say something back, the whole kitchen would look like the nerve of him fucking talking back to somebody is like it was crazy, man. It's like, and I would always tell him, man, come get your ass out of there. Like let's come back to Chicago and let's start a business together. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, Sean, I got my bills to pay and stuff. Like, man, Reggie, we can make money. Just come back here. And he just in the last minute he came back. You know what I mean? The last couple of months he came back to Chicago where he had like was down on his luck, and they wasn't paying him a lot there, so it's like that pissed me off, man. You know what I mean? For somebody to be that talented and get treated that way there, you know what I mean? Like he didn't deserve that. You know what I'm saying?
No, and
But
just
listen,
pointing that out, yeah, I would hate to see a colleague or somebody I respect, uh, you know, being treated like that and mistreated and misunderstood, and um, it's tough. It's tough,
listen.
and there's nothing you can say to make it better, right? It's kind of it happened, and
Well, he was with the the chefs. Reggie was almost 60 years old, so he was like 60 years old and working like 15, 16 hours a day still. You know what I'm saying? Like he was hard, man, super hard though. You know what I mean? Like, and he was outworking people that was 20 years old. So
right.
they didn't like that. You know what I mean? But no, that's why guys that's younger like you, they got an opportunity to know that, what I mean, if you want good people with you, you got to treat them right, man. You got to treat them. It's not about being jealous of a person. It's just about us learning from each other and let's doing better together. You know what I mean? That's the that was always like Chef Trotter thing. Like it's no secrets in cooking. You know what I mean? It's only just like ask me and I'll show you. This is back in the days where you have to come in. If you're supposed to be to work at Trotters at like maybe about 1 o'clock. You're supposed to start, but if you came there at 1 o'clock, there's no way you would ever be ready. You would never be ready and set to go. So people would get there at 9 a.m. in the morning, like 10 a.m. in the morning to be able to be ready. You know what I mean? People was dedicated like that. And it was like you didn't get paid for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Is you just wanted to be, if you wanted to be right and on the money and ready to go, you had to come early. It was the only way it was gonna be. You know what I mean? So that's the part that I miss about cooking. But young guys like you, man, you can change it by, getting rid of all the getting the racism shit out of cooking. You know what I'm saying? Believe me, it's in it, dude. That's why you don't see that many black chefs. You know what I mean?
A
It's
hundred
not that.
percent. And that bringing that point, the James Beard, didn't do any nominees this year, and I mean they already had everything kind of pre-planned and whatnot, and they had the reviews. but there was no African American people on the roster that got picked because it's like a colleague to colleague, and they decided not to run it at all. And
Do you think? Do you
they're
think?
just trying to avoid like being called out or and whatnot. But I think you bring up a very good point, and I've been keeping my eye on Virtue and seeing the style of food they do, and just kind of what is Southern cooking, what is soul food, what to me that I'm coming from a European Israeli background, and yes, racism exists in Israel and Russia, but we were just not. It's different. I definitely have a different perspective on that. I just respect people for people, right? There's gonna be shitty people and there's gonna be good people, and
That's true.
you know, um, there's
Well,
and it's also the upbringing, right? It's all what your parents instilled in you, right?
that's true.
And to me, like I wasn't really the we weren't really in Israel. There's not a lot of there's Ethiopians, but it's not like we treat them any different. I mean, some people, right? There's gonna be shitty people that are gonna be like saying shit, and there's gonna be people who just living their life and trying to make the best of it. I mean, my
It's,
good
it's pieces of shit in all races.
exactly, and
So
they make everybody look bad.
well,
So
it's a, you know what, man? It's like when you because I worked in some of the toughest kitchens, man,
a
where
100%.
where they call you nigga like to your face. You know what I mean? It's like, but 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 I always kept in mind that yeah, you might call me nigga, but I'm gonna every day I'm gonna make sure that I fucking dust you every day. Nobody I when they started that with me, when they did that because they thought that would make me mad. But I had a mother that was so strong, man, that they had been through so much, and she would always tell me when I come home and I tell her, mom, they calling me a niggas, and my mother would always tell me like, Shawnee, if somebody got to be that weak to think that they gonna hurt you by doing that, then look at the life that you live. Look what we've been through in our lives. Words can't hurt us. The only thing I would get upset about is somebody put their hand on me. So your mouth is yours. You can do and say with it whatever you want, and it's my choice to react about it or act a fool, act stupid about it. I don't, I don't give a fuck about that shit. You know what I mean? Because I know that in the end, I'm gonna be the fucking best, whether you admit it or not. You gonna learn from me. I had people who didn't like me or whatever. You know what I mean? And years would pass, and all of a sudden I would get a message and say, "Hey, Sean, how you doing? Chef Sean, how you doing, man? I'm sorry about the way that I used to act. You know what I mean? But I learned so much from you, man. Even though that I was being an asshole, I learned so much from you, and I learned a lot from you, and I appreciate you. See that, and from that I feel good. You know what I mean? Like that's what I know. That's what I found out about cooking. That's what this is about, man. It's about us helping each other out, and lifting ourselves from the position that we came in to being better, man.
A hundred
That's
percent. And I don't think anybody could have put it better than you just put it. I mean, you, you said it beautifully, and I think that a lot of the people that will view this, whether it's today, tomorrow, in a year or two, it's always going to be relevant. And um, you said some very deep, meaningful things, especially about the racism, and you said it very, with perfectly. I don't think you could have said it any better. And you've been watching the news and you've been seeing what's going on, and you've seen like people have honestly had enough of the racism in the industry, and we're living in an era right now where everybody's free to put out their perspective, and I think that because we're so connected on the interweb, people started speaking, and now there's like an 86 list, and Fat Rice got you know whatever looted, and a bunch of other restaurants um, that were doing really shitty things for no other reason than somebody's skin color. And I think that's like the stupidest thing you can do, and the most disrespectful thing you can do if you're a business owner, because you should be looking at money, and money doesn't have any you know doesn't have anything to do with racism, color, or where the person was brought up. It's all about, and like you were saying, it's all about the work ethic and what you bring to the table, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's what it's about, man. I mean, this career is like it's none like it though, man. It's none like it, and it always separate the real people from the pieces of shit. It's like any other job. Every job that you have is gonna be some pieces of shit, and there's gonna be some people that's like you never gonna forget them. You know what I mean? I had some tough ones, dude. Like some tough ones. I would never forget that. Chef Guillermo Tez, like look him up, dude. He was one of the great chefs at Charlie Charters, Mexican guy. But when I tell you this, him and his wife together, they were tyrants, dude. Like he was so fucking. When I tell you mean, like he was mean, like mean to me. And he inspired me like so much because he would always say shit to me like why the fuck do you keep coming back here? Why you keep coming here? Like why don't you fucking stay your ass on the fucking south side where you belong? Like I'm tired of fucking looking at your black ass over here. Like he would like he would say horrible shit. Like and his wife, and he's actually married to a white lady, and his wife was like horrible too. She was just like, like she would get in your fucking face with her blonde mustache, like right up in your face, like and it was like they was just like it wasn't the fact that they was racist. They was like giving me the ultimate test, and I was like, it was like they had made it up in their mind like they was gonna get rid of me, like they gonna fucking break me. They was gonna break me no matter whatever they had to do. They was gonna break me. But every day I went home, my mother was right there. Was like, don't let it happen, son. Don't come back. Don't come back here. Like you ain't nothing for you to come here and do. So you deal with it, and every day I deal with it and deal with it and deal with it and deal with it until I started seeing a whole nother look in Chef G's face, and he was like I can't believe like he haven't left, and he's actually like getting goods, like. And then I started watching him, like he would like refuse to show me things, but he couldn't stop my eyes from working. Like I would watch him do. It's nobody that I ever came across that was like as skilled in terrines, galantines, like taking. He was like I call him like a chef that can take nothing and make the most beautiful, beautiful things out of it. He was like super talented, more talented than anybody I ever met, like in my life. You know what I mean? But he was so mean though. But after years passed and years passed, he was like, he came to be like my friend. It was like, I never thought that would happen, dude. He was like, you good. Like I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I'm gonna let you do your work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect you. You know what I'm saying? So, man.
So now I know where you got. I remember you were the only one in the restaurant at GT Prime making the foie and capon.
Capon, yeah. That's guess
Terrine.
who showed me that, right? Chef G showed me that.
I
Chef G
remember.
showed
I
all
remember
the
not to throw Greg under the bus, but I remember he made it one time, and it was like impossible to slice, and I was like, wow. But yeah, that was a beautiful, and I believe we also did a pigeon one.
Yeah,
So
it was like that's all from Chef G. I can't deny it though. He was very. I think he's in Mexico now, but man, when I tell you this guy, man, he was so fucking talented, man. Like amazing, amazing. Like for somebody to never say a nice, I don't think he ever said a nice word to me ever. Like after about 5 years, he was like, nah, you okay. I guess you're okay. You know what I mean? But for if there was anybody else, it'd be like you great. But saying that you okay from him was some big fucking news. Like that dude was like, it took a lot, dude. It's like, and like I was just like so happy when I left there and he respected me. I felt so good, man. I felt so good to be able to actually be able to be like have some respect in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? He was like, he was. You think Giuseppe tough? He was like make Giuseppe a fucking pussycat compared to him, dude. Like, nah, dude.
yeah, I would agree. The industry right now is the newcomers in the industry are pretty weak candidates. Pretty weak candidates. Because the reality TV chefs have ruined the reality. There's such a big disconnect with what happens on reality TV and what happens in the real kitchen. And
It's a part of the change, man. It's like rap music. It's like it's not old school rap. Of course, the old school people gonna think that it's better, but it's all about as long as people respect it and actually if you know the past, then you can do your thing. You can do your thing with the future shit. But like just saying fuck the past, you know what I mean? And then you try to come up with some new shit. It's not new, all this shit's been done. It's just the way that you do it. You know what I mean? That's all it is, man. If you don't have enough respect to, show respect to the people that laid it out before you, and you just like think you the shit, you know what I'm saying? Even Grant Atkins, he got enough respect to know that he respects Chef Charter. He know that he didn't come with his best then at that time. That's all it is, you know what I mean? Like he grew to be have some of the one of the best restaurants in the world. You know what I mean? But it's a humbling experience to know that you're not the shit though. You know what I'm saying? You might think that you the shit, but somebody gonna let you know the real truth that you're not. You don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? And when you realize that, that's when you're gonna start getting better, man. That's when you'll.
100%. I remember you were always telling me, different books to read, different chefs to look up,
Yeah,
and the one that really stuck with me is John Palapadine,
yeah.
and you worked for him too, right?
Louis Paladin.
Louis Paladine.
Louis Paladin. Yeah, I didn't. I got a chance. He had just passed away, but I was the first person that was. He had a foundation, but I was the first extern in his foundation, and that was from Trotta's. Like Chef Trotter sent me to Maine, and we did scallop diving. Basically, I had everybody. I
You
think
did
it
a
was like
scallop dive?
yeah.
You got in scuba gear and you went all the way to the bottom of the ocean and picked scallops?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is incredible. I just
And
keep
it's
learning.
cold at that time. You get a Swiss. You got to wear like a Swiss wetsuit. You pour hot water inside and you zip it from the back, and you fucking put your scuba gear mask on and you jump and you go down 110 feet, 100 somewhere 110
That's
to
incredible.
180 feet. It seals there. It seals down there, dude. Seals got some. They got some vicious teeth, dude. They like, like when you clean the scallops, you take the roll sack off, and they right there waiting for you to throw the roll sack in the water. So they like vicious. They're like I'm from the south side, dude. Like fucking seals. I've never seen a seal like it put me in my face like that, dude.
Well, I guess there's a reason the Navy SEALs, killed Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, dude. So that's what we did, man. He sent me to Maine for scallop diving, and that was actually the first time I ever like Giuseppe went with me as well. Like he was there just to watch me, and it's like go ahead, do it, Sean. You know what I mean? I was like, it was man, they had some great chefs there, man. Like they had Timothy Dean. He's a great chef in Washington D.C. Um, Michelle Rashad. He was, dude. I don't know. You got to look him up too. He's from Citronelle Restaurant in Washington D.C. I mean, like it's French, old French guy. Man, he was amazing, man. He was amazing. Like he was good. It was like it was a lot of great chefs there, man. They was from all around the country, and everybody got a chance to cook their course. And I was doing scallops for my course, man, and I was like super nervous. It was like the first time I ever did that before, but Giuseppe was like, just go and do your thing, man. You do this shit every day at work. You know what I'm saying? And I did it, man. I was like, after that, man, I was so nervous. I like everybody was like, all right, they gave me my props, but I was so nervous. I went to the bathroom and I had to vomit, dude. It was like I made it through it. I made it through it, but man, it was like that's when I know I can be a chef. I can do this, man. So man, I had some good experience, man. I had some great experiences, man. Great
I
experience.
mean, your journey is amazing, and your entire story is very fulfilling. I've learned a lot of things I did not know about you. And one thing I want to say is you definitely had an incredible mother to bring you up the way she did. You're one of the kindest souls and one of the nicest chefs I've ever had a pleasure working with and meeting. And
Same here,
you
man.
know
Same here.
you always we always stay in touch. And it's been what 4 or 5 years, maybe less, since we're working in the same kitchen under the same umbrella. And the irony is that I finally got the sous chef position at GT, right?
Right. Did I tell you you was gonna get it, or did I not tell you you was gonna get it? I
And
told you what to do is keep on working. Giuseppe was like, I don't know about Vlad. I was like, give him a chance, man. You can always see the person that really want it. You know what I mean? You always was like just going out of your way to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and those are the people that you got to give a chance to. So he was like, I'm gonna give him a shot and see. And then when I left, I was like, and I called back and I found out, oh God, Vlad has made it to the chef world, baby.
I
That's
was
good.
truly
I'm
happy.
proud of
But
you,
I
man.
did. I had to. And that's the thing with the culinary journey, right? Sometimes you have to step down a position, um, or step back, or take some losses before you can take some bigger gains.
That's true.
And you know, but so one thing, you definitely have an incredible mother, and I think if everybody had such an amazing mother, that there would be no problems in the entire world. But unfortunately, that I don't think that's a very hard thing to replicate, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But she truly made an amazing person, and your entire culinary journey is just fueled my fire even more. And just the fact that you were around in the times and everything, and just going through it all and being in the entire scene this whole time, and you're still doing your thing. Let the viewers know what are you doing nowadays, and how can we get some of your amazing creations. And I've been watching you. You built the smoker, or you got the smoker, but you've been
I
uh,
built it. I built it myself, man. All my tools are like, I just bought me a small house, and I got a really nice backyard, man, and basically, man, I got my own kitchen at home, man. It's like I haven't been able to like make enough money to like open my own business. So basically I just sell to my family and people that I know, you know what I mean? I take care of my kitchen, keep it very professional and sanitary, and I do what I like doing every day, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to work as much as I used to work. Like I was killing myself every day, just like and no, I was just like never feeling appreciated by the people, you know what I mean, that I was working for, including Giuseppe. That's my now me and him we like super best friends. We always been good friends though. We always like we fought a lot at GT Prime, like because I was like I had my own opinion about things. It's like when you the president, like the president that we had before, he had a whole bunch of people around him saying, yeah, 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 yeah. That's never good. No matter, I don't I don't give a fuck about Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck about no politician. It don't make a difference. They what they do inside the White House or inside the White House is not gonna dictate my future in one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Love
I
it.
just like it don't make a difference to me. Republican, Democrat, it don't make a difference to me. I need to raise my daughter to be a good person and do the right things. Take care of my wife and take care of my family. Like, and no president and nobody, no matter what political group they from, is not gonna change that. You know what I mean? But you always need a balance in your life. Some people, everybody can't tell you yes, 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 yes. You need somebody to say, nah, I think like this. I think like this. That's called a balance in life. You know what I mean? If everybody's saying yeah, never gonna know where the scale is. You know what I mean? Somebody gotta say, nah, I think we should go left. Everybody going fucking right. You gonna be doing the circle, right?
Right.
You gotta have a balance, man. You know what I mean? And that's what life is. If you don't have a balance, you're fucking yourself. You know what I'm saying? No matter it's Donald Trump, if it's whoever, Biden, it don't make a difference, man. It's about balance, man. It's about doing the right thing and treating people right. You know what I'm saying? If you just because you got money, it's not gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna help you. It's not gonna fucking help you.
And it's crazy what you just said, and we keep hearing this on the podcast. This will be podcast number 7, and every chef and every person we've brought on said the same thing: is you got to take care of your people, and then your people will take care of you.
Yes.
And it's crazy that we can think like this, and for some odd reason, the rest of the world, in some parts, right? Not everybody, but especially the politicians, the people who have control to change a life, to make it better, to take a stance. Like you said, they're just running laps. It's like they're NASCAR, and they just keep making a right turn. We're not getting anywhere with it, and all these false promises and whatnot. I mean, it's incredible that people from such a humble perspective can understand where the issue lies, and that is taking care of your people, making sure that their voices are heard, making sure that they're taken care of, giving them that extra call, giving them
The greatest thing I always found that one thing that I always keep in mind when I'm a chef of any place or anything, the first thing I think about is my dishwashers. The people who do the most grunt work. The first thing I do whenever I say, if I would say like I would say, hey Nelson, we need the floor drains clean because we got a couple gnats flying around, and he was like, okay, chef, no problem. But the first thing I would do, I would be the first person to always. I would do it first. I would clean the first drain first. And when he see that chef is asking me to do something that he would do his own self. You know what I'm saying? He would never. I would never. That's my motto. I would never, 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 never in my life ask a person to do something that I wouldn't do myself.
right. No one's above
Period.
anything.
Period. That when they, that's where your respect in the kitchen will always come from. Learning the person's language and learning their job and doing the same thing that you asking them that you would do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Period. And you will always have success in every kitchen that you work in. But not thinking that you're above a person. I don't care. I don't care if you leave out from work and you get in your Benz, and they leave out the work and they get on the train. It's the same thing. When they leave there, I always treat the dishwashers and the people that's so called under me. I treat them just like a king or a queen, and that's your measure of a restaurant. How long you can hold on to your dishwashers, because that's a hard job, man. And if you don't respect them enough to know that, let them know that I respect you and I want you to be here, and I'm gonna treat you like I'm gonna know who your family is. I'm gonna know your kids. I'm gonna know when they birthday. I'm gonna know what you like. I'm gonna know what you don't like. You know what I mean? If you don't do that, to me, you will never have my respect as a chef. This respect comes from how long you keep your dishwasher. That gonna tell you how good the restaurant is. Period.
A
That
hundred percent.
that's
And
what that's
I think you know people might hear these words, but I wanna just give the example of I mean, you were the sous chef at GT Prime during its most busiest it's ever been, right?
yeah.
Um, we can't, you know, that's a fact. And the way you ran the prep team and the way you built up the prep team was just incredible. Just even, you know, I remember you went out and got everybody knives, and I was like, you know, I'm the observer, right? So I come in the kitchen, I'm like, whose knife is this? Whose knife is this? Whose knife is this? And you're like, oh, I got that for this guy and this guy and this guy. And I'm like, wow, that's, you know, not only did you take care of your prep team, but it resonated and you built that culture of, you know, respect and giving more than you're getting back, and you know, letting them know that you're there for them. And I think you did a phenomenal job and exceptional job at doing that.
They always give it back, man. It's like that they always, and they still to this day. I still hear from them to this day. It's like, oh Shani, I miss you. You know what I mean? Like if you need me to help you with anything, just let me know. Just let me know. And it's always been like that. You know what I mean? That's why I always, me and Giuseppe, we sometimes we left on bad terms, but I would tell him too. I don't know what your problem is. I haven't done anything wrong. I don't know what the fuck is you, maybe you having some type of personal problems, but I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? So if that's how you feel about the situation, it's fine with me. You know what I'm saying? And like, and after that, after I left, it's like I see this person leave. But I had a strong team, and I treated them like my family every day, man. Like, and I respected them, man. I still miss them like they my family. You know what I'm saying? That would be the only thing that I miss about actually like working in the restaurant every day is the people, man, the people. I miss that. I miss talking to you guys and you know Lucas. You know, it was a whole team of young people that just wanted to go do good, man. Uh,
Yeah, me, Lucas, Ramon, Josh,
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
um,
What's the Jamaican boy?
oh, Javon,
Javon and the other.
Javon, Jose.
Oh man, we had some good people, man. We had
We had a great team,
yeah, we did, man.
phenomenal team, and I think you did an amazing, exceptional job again, and I want to praise you for that, and I want to give, you know, respect and credit where credit's due. I think from, you know, from my standpoint and just being in the Boca, going to Alinea, going back to Boca, it's so political when you get on that corporate level of who gets promoted and who gets, you know, the pay raise and who stays and who doesn't. And I think it's always, if a good chef leaves, it's on the management that made him leave, right? And I've seen that happen, and I've seen, you know, Servando. I don't know if you know him, but you know that man was a sous chef at a different spot for a couple days a week, but he knew everything on the GT menu. And then, you know, they gave it to the white guy, and I didn't think that was fair. Kenny, you know, he could have been a sous chef 3 times over, whether it was at GT Fish when we worked together or GT Prime. Um, but again, it's usually the white people that get that promotion, and I think that's it's a horrible mindset. And me and Kenny have talked about it. Me and Servando have talked about it. You know, and they feel like shit because if you give your time, especially Servando, he's probably been at GT Fish since day one, you know, and he knew everything, and he worked up from, you know, prep to oyster and back through everything, and he felt heartbroken when, you know, he sees the guy that doesn't know everything get the position that he wants, and
But look how it look. But look at, you know, you. I mean, that's happened so many times. But you know, feeling that it's a black or white thing. Sometimes it is. Most of the times it is. But the person that actually took the time to learn a lot, it's not gonna be in vain. You know what I mean? Your time gonna come, and then that will be, you know, learning what not to do is vitally important. It's almost more important to knowing what to do. You know what I'm saying? What, you know, how not to treat your people is that's more important than to learn how to treat your people. You know what I'm saying? That all the knots, what not to do. Don't do this. That's more of the learning process. That's more important than, you know, the easy part is what to do. What not to do is the hard part. You know what I'm saying? And you have to watch people. You have to understand people. You know what I mean? And if one person don't give you that chance, your time gonna come. Your time gonna come. It's nothing can stop it from happening. All you got to do is be patient and humble enough to say, "This is not the place for me." You know what I'm saying? This is not the place for me. Your
right.
time gonna your
No,
time gonna come.
and yeah, and good people end up leaving. I mean, but that is life, and like I said, it's a political thing, right?
It is. It is. Most of the
You know,
times it is.
when you're in a corporate, it's all about, you know, what's in the interest of the investors, and sometimes that's not to promote, you know, some certain type of people. But I think you made a great point. It's what not to do, and I think, you know, maybe Kenny and Servando might have brought, to my perspective, too much of their home life problems into everybody's attention, and that also scares, you know, people in management to promote somebody to a you know, a sous chef position or whatnot.